Hello, Sky Pirates! So, in our continuous journey of making crafting from the FFRPG 3rd edition easier, we have created tables upon tables upon tables, but an issue with the system is that it's trying to be a video game for a tabletop form, but it doesn't automate anything on its own. So, because of that, I have finally made something that's a little more automated. This will not automate the costs and how many of supplies that you need and how much those supplies would cost, because I would leave that up to people who want to, however you want to get those supplies. This is just telling you what abilities you are able to put to what equipment and how long it will take and the modifiers. So this is crafting for your armor and your weapons. I have included this table in everyone's character sheets under the page Build Your Equipment. Please do not adjust the name of the page because there are several scripts that run calling to that page name. And if you change the name, they will break. So, also, if you ever need any, if you do break anything, like, that is, any calculations, you can come back to the crafting guide. I have created a non-editable version after the inventions tab at the bottom. So, what can you do with this? This system will let you create any of the equipment you want. It breaks down by the type, the slots of your equipment. So you're going to have head armor, body armor, hand armor, weapons, ammunition if you use it, and shields. And so you can select your, let's go with helmet. It will automatically give you the time, the modifier, for creating just a tier 1 helmet. It's going to take 10, almost 11 hours. It's going to be 40 plus 40 modifier. And if you're creating a higher tier, you just use the drop down to select tier 6. It will auto calculate the time, and it will auto calculate the modifier to now a -10. And with this, you have the option of choosing multiple abilities. So you can plan out what you want, how long it's going to take, and the modifier for each role. So in this case, if you were to get this tier 6 helmet, and you want to put a ability 1 tier onto it, you know your chances of making it high quality, how long it's going to take. With the first abilities, there is a section down here asking, isn't first ability added at the beginning? This will modify the times in all of these to be 2 hours less if yes. That jump from 8 to 6. And you can see the total time for all that you want to craft is all calculated down here in this section. So let's say you wanted to craft a giant selection, like a full tier 6 loadout. With no abilities, it calculates to 142. That is factoring you are not using any tools to help you reduce that time. You are not using any drafts to help lower the modifier. And you are not getting any help from comrades or assistants that could help you out. And what I should have mentioned at the beginning, everything that is in the blue highlight is calculated These do not adjust or touch anything that's in the blue. Mostly work with the drop downs, as they are designed for you to for all of the decisions.
I stopped planning my week and actually get more
Why
done. Let me
does
show you how.
weird. When I stream, YouTube doesn't give me ads on my videos. Weird. Anyways, it shouldn't because I don't put ads on my videos. Anyways, which will be really funny if one comes to at the beginning of this one. But we won't know until it happens, until it's live. So, yeah. The things that can be adjusted, your modifier and your time will be adjusted whether you have exceptional or legendary tools. Nobody has legendary tools yet. A lot of people have exceptional tools to help with their crafting. One thing I should note is that there are a lot of fail safes in these sections. For example, in the hand armor, you will be able to see a lot of the either abilities, and then you'll find a bunch of armor only abilities afterwards. They are separated into general category uh, and then alphabetical once you're in that category. So it's all the proofs here, and then you get to the SOSs, and then you get to the autos. Likewise with the weapons, you have your either categories, goes into autos, your elements, touches, strikes, criticals, and then down the line. And then down the line of a bunch of random stuff. And then it goes into the measure strikes in tier order. And so, yeah, there are a lot of fail safes, like how if you have, let's say, a tier 2 male and you try to put a tier 9 ability on it, it will tell you error. The ability is too high. You cannot add a tier 9 weapon or tier 9 ability onto a tier 2 armor. And yeah, other failsafes, other cool features is that as you will see in the weapons section, there are normally 3 abilities. However, there are several abilities that have less than 3 abilities. And it will tell you, like if we go into sword, let's say, let's add an ability down here. It will tell you the ability, time, modifier is 0. Since it's tier 3, tier 1. Or third ability at tier 1. But if we are to make it a boomerang, that ability 3 name turns into innate weapon ability, and the time is no longer there. Basically telling you that you can't check it anymore. The modifier is still there, but can't really figure out the time if it's not available. Likewise, if you are to switch it to a rifle, then you'll have both of these as innate weapon abilities. And you won't be able to know how much time it takes to learn it because, well, you aren't able to view it, and that's how it's designed. So if we continue to go down, we have both assistance and we have a draft section. Going into the assistant section, with the order of operations, the assistant wants to determine which craft they're going to be helping with, whether it's your head armor, body armor, hand armor, weapon, or shield. So let's go with head. And you can decide, are you going to help with 10%, reducing 10% of the work, 25%, or 50%. And so if you leave it at 0, modifier is going to be 0, because it's nothing there. But if you increase it 10%, modifier is going to be a plus 28, 25% is going to be a plus 8, and 12%, or minus 12 if you want to add for 50%. It'll also and so once you know the modifier, you will want to roll that the same skill check of what you are going for. So it's head armor, which is currently set to helmet. So that will be your armor smithing minus 12. Except how we have the ruling is that you can use your magic if you don't have armor smithing. Once you roll, you get to decide, or you get to select whether your roll succeeded, failed, or botched. If you botch, then nothing happens to the time hours of the person you're helping. If you fail, your bonus is reduced by half, and if you succeeded, it's reduced the full 50%. And so having someone help you with crafts is a fantastic way to get things done much faster. Likewise, and if you, so the ways to reduce the time, using tools, getting someone to help. The fun thing is that the modifier for the person helping you is adjusted by your tool because they're using the same tool you are. So the better tool you have, the better tool your assistant will have. And the last part to talk about, teach about this table, this whole sheet, is drafts. So one thing that I have noticed is that some of these crafts are definitely going to take a while. That's always been known. However, how it was ruled before with drafts, and this will remain for smaller crafts, but anything that will take longer than 12 hours, there is a new ruling system on how drafts are calculated. Basically, instead of needing to drink instead of needing to drink enough drafts to fill out the entire time frame, which could be a little bit messy if you drink like 10s and 20s and mix it up like that. Instead, you get 5 drafts to drink for the entire craft session, or I should say up to 5, depending on how long. You have up to 5 drafts that you can drink, and each individual one will give you modifier bonuses. So if we were to, let's say, reduce this, reduce, no. This means we have a 20.5 craft coming up. This is longer than the 12 hours. So we can instead drink up to 4 6-hour drafts of plus 20. And no matter if our 4th draft is going to be 6 hours or 4 hours, it's going to give the same modifier. And so that is going to be the entire time frame. And as we were drinking that, you will notice that once the drink is complete, we want the draft skill to select what the skill check is for. So move that to armor smithing. And then you'll see in the assistance part, the drafts is going to affect them. And it's going to affect our modifier up here as well. So if we move that back down to none, go back to armor smithing, you will see that it has jumped to a 54 from a 30. And so with all of that together, you can easily calculate how much your modifier will be after you drink drafts, get assistance, use a tool, and everything like that. Once you are done with the draft table, you can select this clear button, and it will get rid of everything in this table. That will be very important because there's also an order of operations to adhere to. The first one is to choose what you're crafting. Which is it going to be a gauntlet, a hat? Just make that decision. And then you can choose your tool. It must be available in your inventory. And once you have that, you can choose your abilities. All of your abilities checks will be going off of the same skill as the base item. And once you have the abilities, you know exactly what you're crafting. And then it's time to decide if you want an assistant. If you do, the assistant determines how much of their time they want to spend helping you out with the craft. They will be able to drink as many drafts as they want in order to help the modifier. Definitely make sure that you have the skill that the draft is for selected, because that will count for, because this cell is both for your drafts and for your assistants. And once you have that, you have the assistant roll. See if they succeed or not. Make that outcome be what it is. After that, clear the draft table, reset it for what you, the main crafter, is going to select, choose your own drafts, and then roll. And you can now make your own equipment without having to go through the entire sheet of figuring like, all right, how much is the modifier? It's going to be plus 20, maybe another plus 20, minus 30. How much is it for the next ability? Going off of this table over here. And it should be a lot easier. As I have more time, I will probably also calculate, add a section for which the combinations, the recipes that you need for each ability, just so that you have that readily available. Either that, or you could probably just go to the crafting recipes quick guide, grab the tier 1, grab the gem CP amount, spoil CP amount, and just copy it over to your sheet. And yeah, that should be everything. I hope this will be easier for everyone. I hope you all have a happy birthday. Goodbye.